Hi, this is Dan Jurgens, and if you want to have a good time, keep listening to the Krypton Report.
It's a bird. It's a plane.
This is Jason J. Lewis, the voice of Superman on Justice League Action. This is Mark Waid, writer of Superman Birthright, and you're listening to The
Krypton Report, the all things Kryptonian podcast, including Superman and Supergirl.
We discuss games, movies, cartoons, TV shows, and comics.
Find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. It's the holiday season again, and at Krypton Report, we've created a holiday guide for our listeners. It's a couple different items that you can purchase through the Amazon portal for Southgate. You can go through the link through Amazon, and part of the proceeds of your purchase goes to support our show and other shows on Southgate Media. Also, for any geek, nerd, or genre lover, check out all the other Southgate Media holiday guides. And from us to you, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and beyond. Ho, 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 and Merry Christmas from the Krypton Report. This is our special Christmas episode. We have decided to tackle that holiday classic, Batman Returns. This is a film that finalizes our look at the Batman anthology films. Kind of watched them a little out of order because we did them starting with Batman 89 for the Joker. And then we did the Schumacher films because of Joel's passing. And now we had always planned to do Returns for Christmas. But with me, as always, that masterful, mighty man, Mr. James Cole. Welcome, James, the Bearded Wonder.
Yo, yo, yo.
And we are happy, everyone. As you know, we had mentioned on our last recording that Bryan was not doing very well. We are very happy that he is getting better, and he is able here to join us. Bryan, thank you for being here with us tonight.
It's good to be here, guys. I don't know. I got some disease that Ra's al Ghul put out or something.
Probably. That cheeky fellow. But all right,
yeah,
man.
It's biological warfare.
I'm in the basement. I got my little can of Coca-Cola. I got my bag of popcorn. I got my kids have their little tiny 3-foot Christmas tree. Their grandma got them. It's on in the side, here to help create the atmosphere of watching Batman Returns. So, quick history. We'll go around real quickly and talk about our experience, like with the film. It's odd to me that this movie came out in the summer, being that it's set in Christmas and winter. This is the one Batman film I have seen the least. I had a very bad experience with it. I've talked about before. Seeing it in theaters, my mom hated it, was disgusted with it, and tried to get us to leave the theater. She wouldn't let us, when we were kids, own it. She was my dad we were supposed to go see it as a family the night before with my dad, but then I had a Boy Scout thing, and my dad's like, "Oh, let's go do that," and I'm like, "No, let's go to the movies."
I knew you were a Boy Scout. I knew it.
And so my mom took us the next morning, and it was a horrible experience. So it wasn't until years later, when I was a little bit older, that I bought it when the DVD set came out of all 4 films. And it's still one that I have a love-hate relationship, and we'll talk about it as we go into it. But yeah, it's the one I've seen the least. James, your turn.
I don't even know. I always watched. I had Batman 89 on VHS. We had this movie on VHS. I'm trying to think if I went and saw this in the theaters, because at the time I would have only been 7 years old. Yeah. So at the time I would have only been 7 years old. I'm trying to think if I saw this in theaters or not. It's hard to remember at that time. But
hey, you guys all cut out. I don't know what you said. The last thing that I heard James say was he had it on VHS, and then it all cut out.
He said he's 7 years old. He's not sure if he saw it in theaters.
But I remember this movie as if it's always been there,
Yeah.
I've seen it since I was a little kid. I loved Batman and superheroes and everything since tiny little tyke. And my mom, she liked these types of movies too. She liked the actors in it too, so that's why she went after it. And I'm sure she noticed some things, but my mom was always cool like that. We got to watch a lot of things that maybe we shouldn't have, but we knew it wasn't. We knew it was a movie and everything. Yep. So
my mom hates Tim Burton.
Oh no.
Your mom hates a lot of things.
That she does. So, all right, Brian, your turn with your experience with this movie.
So I don't know if as a 6-year-old kid, if I saw this in theaters, I'm not sure. But I know that I had Batman 89 on VHS, and the cassette or the VHS tape holder was so worn. And I remember getting this on VHS, and it had the cover with like Batman at the top, I think Penguin in the middle, or maybe Penguin was at the top, Batman was in the middle, Catwoman at the bottom. And I remember displaying them so proudly because I love Batman. I didn't have any problems with watching this movie with my family, probably because my mom worked all the time and no one really cared. But I know I used to watch it with my sister religiously because we were just so captivated, if you will, by Danny DeVito's portrayal of the Penguin. We would just walk around and go all the time. And I think my sister still walks that way to this day. but this movie, it just, you didn't really think about the very adult things as a kid. You just love watching Batman. Mm-hmm. And so I'd say with my relation with my sister, this kind of holds a special thing for that.
Well, that's cool, man. Like, I have on my shelf over here in the box, I still have the Batman Returns Robin toy. And my brother had a Batman Returns t-shirt, even though my mom hated this movie. But let's get into the film. I, Tyler, am watching this on Blu-ray.
Oh, it even came on the stand? She set it up.
That's what it's like living with all of us, always children in the background. James, how are you watching it, buddy? That good, huh? Brian, how are you watching it?
I'm not trying to kill my children. I'm watching it on Apple TV on iTunes in 4K.
I am about to kill my children.
Spaghetti.
See, I like that, Brian, because like I know, especially with Batman 89, I was thinking about buying it in 4K because it had the updated sound mix. So there's some of the films I've actually debated buying in 4K because they did more to the films. You know how sometimes they'll take a movie and just transfer it on another format without really updating the picture quality. And with the Batman, they actually updated the picture quality, redid the sound. So their films, and they're all separate. I don't think they have them as a pack. So I'm thinking about buying them one at a time in the 4K. But,
well, what was really cool is Jen got me like the digital 4-pack of the Batman films, and it just when it went 4K, it just upgraded them.
Yeah, and that's That's one bonus about digital copies. That's why I like buying the physical with the digital. Is because they can do that because it's just a file server. So that is nice. Because I remember you telling me that when you're like, hey, I got the 4K versions now. I believe James, he's watching it on HBO Max.
Yes, I am.
Which is the new home. So I like that all of us are on a different platform. We are going to start the film. We have our set We actually have our timer synced up to 9 seconds because it was just with the 3 different ways. It was easy. It's the Warner Brothers logo, and the snow is starting to fall. So are you guys ready?
Yeah. You see clouds and snow.
It feels like Christmas already, guys.
Are you
This
ready?
is a staple Christmas movie every year. I always have to watch it.
Yes. And now I get to share it with you guys. So it makes me happy.
Aw.
All right. So 1, 2, 3, play. You guys ready?
Okay. 1, 2, 3, play. Gotcha.
1, 2, 3, play.
Oh, look at the snow falling. So romantical.
Okay, so first thing out the gate, I love Gotham with snow. I love the depiction of Christmas Gotham or Gotham with snow. Like that one scene in Suicide Squad where it's Christmas and it's just him walking with Deadshot and his daughter and Batman shows up. Beautiful. So the idea that this movie is so much the color of just black, white, grays, I love.
The total gothic feel of Gotham.
So the look of
Pee Wee
this,
Herman's running. That's cool.
the look of this movie, straight up, I love. Okay, the symmetry right here of the doors, the angles, the hallway. Pee Wee Herman, who would later reappear on the TV show Gotham as well.
And the girl that I don't remember her name, but the girl that played Simone in Pee Wee's Big Adventure, they got married and they got rich and they had a mute baby. Look at them.
And then they threw him in a sewer.
And his rubber
Spoiler
ducky.
alert.
It is a little like, it's like dark comedy, like the way they throw back their glasses, the way, just their whole appearance. Like this movie is very much
You know what?
the Penguins film.
Honestly, this might be the first time I recognized it, but the matte painting of Gotham behind them, that's the only time you see the Gotham City skyline as it looked in '89.
Yes.
After this, they stay in certain sections of Gotham, and you never see that skyline again. That's why this movie looks so different than Batman '89.
Well, I mean, this one was filmed on multiple sound stages in Los Angeles compared to '89 was filmed in London. And this one is definitely Tim Burton. Like, I've always said this is more of a Tim Burton film than a Batman film. Now, I read or I saw or something, I'm trying to remember, that the basket here is kind of the idea of like the Penguin is like an evil Moses figure, you know, being sent down the river here in a basket. We have one.
And I always really like that. Like, you know, say what you want about Burton, but there are times when he can make a heck of a movie. And I do like that idea of this evil Moses, this, you know, savior of mankind or savior of the different coming down the sewer.
I mean, I agree. It's so interesting when you like the Christopher Walken character is so just different because Batman Returns. You know, in the original script, like it's so interesting when you read about like the different scripts and the changes and everything like that. We were supposed to get Harvey Dent again, but like his character got twisted and everything, and eventually the Max Schreck character appeared. So, you know, it just
this movie has a certain, you know, Christopher Walken being that character. I mean, it just fits the world. You know, corrupt businessman, criminal dealings, like working with the Penguin.
it's all like
It's
I will
a
say,
very interesting psychological movie.
Danny Elfman's score for this is probably my favorite Batman score. Like, especially, or my favorite Elfman score, actually. I mean, because there's a lot of parts where I feel like he plays with like the sound of like Tchaikovsky with like the Nutcracker to give that kind of Christmassy feel to it, but still be in his gothic wheelhouse.
That's really good. I mean, I've always liked. I mean, there's so much of Danny Elfman, his music and different movies and everything
John
I've
Peters.
liked so much over the years. I guess you can't rush. I guess you can't rush greatness, when it comes to like his Justice League score.
True.
So,
I mean, have you guys? Either of you have watched?
rushed it being subpar.
Have either of you watched? What do you call the holiday movies that made us on Netflix? The Nightmare Before Christmas one.
Not yet, but I definitely will. That's for sure.
All I'm going to say about it, like, it's neat to think like that movie was kind of in a back production, and Elfman's doing that music while he's working on this. Like they're kind of going on at the same time because they were both released like a year apart or the same year. There's Gotham City 33 years later. That's a beautiful skyline for Gotham. And now we're
now the Penguin is the same age as me. Just great.
Well, think about it. It's his Jesus years. 33, Moses,
Well played. Well put. Check out the latest Penguin sighting. Read about it.
I love the architecture, but like it's so weird to think that Gotham's a city, but like how small it feels. It's like Gotham's a street corner. Because there's a lot of stuff that happens in this one. Even like, look, the holiday lady here, she's in dark, like silver, and like there's symmetry in the shots of the two, right, perfect, right there. Penguin's hand, the two statues, the Christmas tree, the bars. That's beautifully symmetrical.
Yeah.
Part man, part penguin, all horrified.
I love how Alfred's out Christmas shopping.
What kind of public handrail is covered in spikes?
Cities, man. Just like they put spikes in certain places on the ground in the public so that homeless people won't sit there. They don't want people hanging out there. That'd be an amazing set to be on, though, knowing that all this is like soundstaged.
Well, when you're in big cities, and you're just surrounded by like these giant buildings, and all it is sidewalks and streets, and like, don't you feel like closed in?
Yes.
In big cities like that, like, I mean, even places like New York and Chicago that are so expansive, but when you get in the downtown areas, it just feels so claustrophobic, so packed full. I mean, that could make some of the ideas of why this movie feels small.
I agree. Here we go. New mayor. That's a mild swelling. Imagine Gotham City.
Lit up by a blanket of stars, blinking on off. I cringe, Mr. Mayor. Wow.
I'm glad he definitely was a little more reined in than that.
I feel like
wow after that or something.
I feel like it wasn't until he got a little bit older, more into the 2000s, where like he had kind of like become more like not a parody of himself, but like the Christopher Walken like character idea,
Yeah.
And then he just embraced
the
that.
parody of himself. Yeah.
This is like I don't want to say when he was still a serious actor, because I think he still is, but like this is when he was more like he wasn't having as much fun. Here's his son, Dad, Chip. I love the painting of himself and his son on his wall.
I love that they're all going walking in a winter wonderland. Corn dog.
And it's interesting, like, she's in brown. Like, if you look at like I said, the color schemes that we're seeing, that clock is cool. The face. Max Shrek. Now it's interesting the fact that let's look at the times table of this movie. Okay, it's Christmas time. See, he's already talking about a mayor recall. Do they just have an election? Like, how does politics work here in Gotham? You know, how does this all work out? Because I don't think it works like that.
I don't know. You have to go to the Supreme Court of Gotham to make sure everything gets overturned.
Maybe.
Anything in Gotham can be bought.
Oh, absolutely.
Public office can be bought in Gotham. So, I mean, typically things like that would take months, if not years.
This is always so funny. Forgot my speech.
I never noticed that wall before. As Christopher Walken with Arnold, Sammy Davis Jr.
I was just thinking that. Like,
I never noticed that.
I was actually paying attention to, like, who is it behind him?
You know what's funny is that guy who plays Chip is actually the guy. He plays Leatherface in one of the Texas Chainsaw Massacres.
It was one of the Michael Bay ones, or both of them, for all I can remember. The ones that Michael Bay produced in the early 2000s. Wasn't he also like Zangief or something in Street Fighter? Wasn't he somebody?
Yes, he is Zangief.
Really?
Yes.
He's Zangief? Okay.
Oh, but you can. Let's just say that Danny DeVito is a perfect casting for the Penguin. But like this interpretation is just so bizarre. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas says.
So nobody noticed like this giant present just sitting in an alleyway?
No. And not mine.
I love how the Red Circus Gang went the extra mile of having that confetti in the box because that really makes everything pop.
I mean, visually, this is awesome. The motorcycle skeletons, people running, the playful music. My man Doug Jones will be out here in a few minutes. This dude with the monkey and the machine gun. Oh, I feel sorry for the Christmas tree.
It was such a nice tree. This dude beating Santa with a sled. Cole, get the signal.
The Commissioner Worthless.
This, without a doubt, in my opinion, is one of the top 3 iconic Batman shots. Like, seriously, Bruce just sitting here, nothing better to do in his life, just waiting.
Yeah, I love it. Like, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it's awesome. And like that right there, like it's just breathtakingly beautiful. But like, how did his little searchlights on his house know to come on, like when the bat signal shines?
When it hits a reflection, man. And how doesn't anybody notice this dude with the bat signal shining in his house?
He lives too far away. Not you, Shrek.
Ooh. Save yourself. Dad, go.
Here comes the car.
I love that Batmobile, man. Mm-hmm. I love it.
It is like the best. It kind of goes. I love the Affleck Batmobile too because it's like this but more aggressive. But it just has the best look. Oh, there's Penguin running through the sewer in his grody pajamas. Like half the time I'm like, what is he wearing? Oh, the devil.
Well, he's wearing a onesie. You know, I mean, you gotta be comfortable when you're down the sewer.
That is such a cool shot.
take out their legs. Take out their stilts.
And Batman just looks so good in this.
I like that the suit is lighter. It's more of a gray. It picks up better. It looks better on camera. This is the one that's more infamous for.
That's an interesting device in your car.
For a quick turnaround.
And then boom!
Batman don't kill.
Dude on fire.
Batman don't kill.
That guy just burned to death.
Batman doesn't kill, James. Batman would never hurt anybody.
Batman
intentionally.
would never kill.
He would never intentionally hurt anybody. Nope.
In the opening commentary or the extras for this digital copy, the screenwriter, and I can't remember his name, but he just goes out and says, our Batman kills, and he's like, some Batman quote unquote purists give us a lot of crap for this, but the point of the matter is, I don't see how you can have Batman in the real world or somebody like Batman and have him not kill at least once or twice.
Yeah, I mean, collateral damage be damned, Yeah, you're a criminal who kills people, and you're fighting a guy who
pushes like a bat.
Knows he goes against, knows he's fighting killers and gangs and mob and all these other things. People are gonna die. It's just flat out gonna happen. I actually can't wait until Enter the Night, the new Squadcast podcast gets to their 11th episode, because then they'll start to release it. They're actually reading all the Batman comics, starting with Detective 27, nice. 28, 29, 30. Yeah, they're going through the original. They're starting back there, and they're reading them, and they're just, and I think Jordan might have said that they might even be doing a kill counter on how many times Batman kills people in those old comics.
He should. I love that. Thanks for saving the day, Batman. He didn't do a whole lot.
Because I'm an incompetent policeman, a la Batman 66 time.
Oh my gosh.
Pat Hingle, that's Gordon, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. He gets more incompetent as these movies. Each time he shows up as Gordon, he gets more incompetent.
I feel the biggest leap was from the first one to this one. And then it just it's a little bit, but I love the hideout is the old zoo. No one thought to look in the old zoo. There's a lot of abandoned stuff in Gotham.
Now, is that nearby where they threw him as a baby?
I think set wise maybe, but is it supposed to be?
Yeah.
No, because he's supposed to have traveled there.
Fair enough.
And there's the triangle game.
Because they threw him off the bridge in the park. I don't know if it was the zoo. It looked more like your Central Park type area.
Hi.
Gotcha.
What we're looking for is
The Penguin Man.
in your bed.
Dying from the carcinogens personally spewed in a lifetime of profiteering.
That's some good words. But here's my first thing. Why the darker, the way he looks around his eyes and everything, it looks kind of like Uncle Fester. But my thing is the paleness of the whiteness, but the black goo is what gets me. You want to make him a deformed person, okay? There's been a lot of, I don't know if you guys have seen the people that have a deformity disease on their hands came out were like up against the Witches movie that just came on HBO Max.
Yeah.
So this is people who are deformed, they have it is a thing, but like they throw in this weird black goo that is like, to me, that's like one of the things that's a big like yuck. Like why? Like that is just.
Well, he made the he dumped the toxins, the toxic waste into that water, and he was going to drown and poison all of the children. So I think that's what it is. I think he's poisoned by the toxic waste, and that's where all the black goo comes from.
I mean,
that's how I always took it. I mean, this guy's been in the sewer for 30-something years. I mean, there's all this, poo gas down there. There's toxic waste contaminating, in that water.
Out of his mouth. No, because he dumps Shrek's toxic waste, where he has the little thermos of it right here. He says he's got a whole lagoon of it in the back. Like that's what he was going to use in that water to kill the children. And I think that's what poisons him, and that's where all that black goo comes from. He's got a nasty mouth, though. He's always got that colored spit coming out.
And that's what I'm talking about. Like, so I mean, all of what you're saying makes complete sense, but I just feel like it should have been in the script more, because we see that he was part of this triangle gang, this criminal, and then it seems like, because when Bruce is going through the newspaper clippings later, that they came back to Gotham, and they're hanging out here in, what do you call it? They're hanging out here in the old...
in the toilet.
Yeah. Yeah, here you go. The toxic waste from your clean textile plant.
He might, yeah.
The denial.
A lot of tape and a little patience make all the difference.
That's a lot of patience.
How's Frank? Is your old partner?
Fred, he's good.
He's good. I think he's on vacation, actually.
See, like, that's like a evil Scrooge element right there. Like,
he's good.
This was always like, this is straight Tim Burton.
Oh,
like,
yes.
Dark.
You want to greet any other body part?
Max, you flush it. I flaunt it.
It's just like they made him more of a gross, dark, animalistic person instead of like the slightly off refined man, because the whole idea of the Penguin came from like the idea of like the tuxedos, that he wore. This, they made him more of a penguin. He's shaking the hand.
I was like that. He gives him the hand and walks off.
Like everybody in this is like psychologically damaged more and more.
Big time. I mean, look at that apartment. It's like she's got a steel girder running up the wall in her apartment.
It's interesting, kind of like the idea of, how sometimes apartments have like the bare brick in cities. Like,
yeah.
Okay, I can tell you right now, okay? The reason she doesn't have a man, has nothing to do with her job, has nothing to do with her looks. It's this apartment, bro. Like, all that freaking pink. You can't take this woman seriously. It's so much pink, man.
Yes.
Like, Gwen from How I Met Your Mother when Barney ran off.
Oh, yeah.
And he comes back home to his apartment full of pink and covered.
And you have this big sign next to the bed that says hello there.
In neon pink.
Yeah. It's not going to work.
No, have you seen that episode of How I Met Your Mother?
I have not. No.
She says I hired a decorator. She says I asked him, what would the inside of Tinker Bell's vagina look like? And he just ran with it. And everything was pink and ridiculously girly and crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, the Gotham Yellow Pages. That's a big one. Back to the office.
In a city that populated, it'd be bigger.
Oh, I know. I finally noticed the steel girder. My bad. And it is painted pink.
It is painted pink.
That's kind of cool. Like this, staircase up into the office, out the floor. That's cool.
Tell me that's not a creep, though. He's got his freaking Chihuahua stuffed and mounted. I don't want my animal.
That's a Chihuahua?
I don't want my animal taxidermied and kept with me. You know what I mean? I mean, let me bury my animal or let me have it burned with my animal. Like that's good.
Yeah, no way.
Yeah, that's his Chihuahua, Geraldo. Pass.
Yeah. Gosh, that's creepy.
I know, right?
Like a mutant baby deer or whatever.
And they light him evil. Look at that.
Yeah, creepy.
I always thought the shadows from her glasses, I'm like, man, like that's intentional how they lit them like that.
Oh, the lighting for this is amazing.
Glasses. Yeah. Like he's lit so evil. Like her glasses almost look like cat ears, the shadows on her over her face.
It looks like a Catwoman mask from the 60s. Right there.
I see it.
Yeah, right there, yeah.
Right there, yep.
Who would you tell? Nobody.
Why'd she tell him all that? You know, she shouldn't have said a dang word.
It's her meekness, her ability of feeling powerless and small, and just she doesn't want him to kill her. But I don't think she thinks he'll actually kill her. She's just scared. But he's psychotic. My legacy. Really not your department store or business. You know, Gotham Santa Claus.
Right.
So
not like you could just kill me.
Huh?
What?
No, for a second there. It was right. Boom. I always like that they did that way. Like, is he gonna kill her? I don't know.
I just want to say how faulty that window is for being that high up. That's some bad construction.
Yeah. Normally windows that high are made of extremely thick glass. Also shatterproof.
James. They call that glass James. How bad. Awesome it is.
This scene always deeply disturbed me as a child. Like I could never watch it.
Yes, that's what I was about to say. Like it's so weird. It's like being reborn by the cats. Like they make her like Catwomanism like almost mystical.
Yeah. It's got a supernatural element to it.
Yeah, they never really explained it in a detail that I would have liked. Like just I mean, I always assume it's meant to be what you guys are saying, like this mystical, like that was just one of her 9 lives. Like she's always had this, like right there where that cat's chewing on her finger.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why does it look like she got shot in the head? That's like her only, like her eyes are hemorrhaging. Like, it looks like she got shot in the head.
Yep.
And then we have like a replay now, a darker version of what we just saw earlier. And like her makeup's definitely different. Because it is kind of like she died and was reborn.
Yeah.
It was a rebirthing scene.
Which is interesting because, I mean, not to throw it down the well, but how they use that as
The Catwoman movie?
the birth of, Halle Berry's Catwoman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they took, Halle Berry took that scene in The Crow and was like, that's the Catwoman movie.
Right. And you know, and for a lot of people, like, this is the definitive Catwoman.
Not to
But-
me, it's not.
Thank you. But like, she doesn't have any of the features that Catwoman really has from the comics. Like, she's not a cat burglar. You know, she doesn't come from. She wasn't abandoned as a kid that we know of. I mean,
Well, her mom
still
calls
called
her.
Yeah. She wasn't a prostitute. She
hate
didn't
that.
have.
I hate
Like,
when they
she's
did that
not
one.
the daughter of Carmine Falcone.
That was cool.
You know, none of this. She's just his secretary. It just has no purpose.
You know, that's why this is a different Earth. You know, like on this
Right.
Earth, this is how Catwoman. Like she loses it right here. Like this is just like losing it for losing it purpose. Like her stuffed animals, like the whole her right there looking crazy.
Oh, this is when I make Jen mad. I mean, this is a normal thing for me.
You like to kill your stuffed animals in your sink?
No,
And
see
lick
that
your
pan
lips?
there? What's the stuff?
Oh,
This would be
smashing crap with the iron skillet.
This would be the scene that would be fun as heck to film. All right,
See, this is why you wash the dishes, boys.
dude. That's all I do is wash the dishes and clean this house. I'm a house
The
husband.
dishes are done, man.
And then the spray paint that she got from the kitchen, like, is cool. Like, it's random, but whatever. Even the cat shirt, okay, the cat tee.
Oh my
Kitties.
gosh, man! I remember
She's got
this.
all this pink everywhere, but she's got this one leather.
one leather jacket, yeah. Whatever, or plastic, whatever the heck that is. I don't know what that is.
Maybe that was from her prostituting days before she became a secretary.
This is like dark humor right here, like the dollhouse.
She did have her prostitute days. That was good.
Maybe that's why she struggles with like the idea of still being a child and the innocence and the clinging to the pink and the dollhouse and the kitties. It's like a defense mechanism. I really don't think that this jacket has enough material.
I was just gonna say that.
Even with her like sewing ability, you know, like, and like the stitching, like.
You know what's crazy is the suit. It's actually those sewing marks. Those are all drawn on. Those aren't actually sew marks.
That makes sense. She was vacuum sealed into it.
Yeah, her freaking suit. Yeah, I was gonna say that she was vacuum sealed into that suit.
And like I agree. Like this. Okay, real quick, without too much. What is your favorite? Like you think's the best live action Catwoman?
The best live action Catwoman.
I mean, this is my favorite. This is my favorite Catwoman. This is the one I grew up on. It's Michelle Pfeiffer. I mean, even though she's crazy and completely different, she goes balls to the wall with it. And I mean, you know, Anne Hathaway's was good, but you know, she was good, but she was just a cat burglar.
Okay, so really quick, make a note of this scene right here, and what the scene was before, because I'm going to make a comment here in a little bit. I agree with you guys to a point. I like Anne Hathaway because I feel like it's more comic accurate. And it's, you know, it's a Nolanized Catwoman where it's Catwoman but trying not to be Catwoman.
Right.
You know, the Batman 66's Catwomans were fun, but they were all, you know, more goofy, lighthearted. This clown just magically flips up and takes a baby that nobody notices. And even,
Oh my goodness. I can't remember what that guy was actually. I listened to something and that guy was somebody.
his face.
Sorry. That was pointless because I can't remember.
No, it's okay. Now you got us all sparking like, who's that clown? Who's the Jumpin' Jack clown?
That's it. It was pointless because I can't remember. But anyways,
I'm very excited for Catwoman in Matt Reeves' The Batman, because maybe we'll get a real Selena Kyle.
Definitely.
That's comic accurate. I mean, they gave us a whole background and then aged her up on Gotham, and that's and it was not bad. That was actually one of the higher points of that series.
I did like Cameron as Selena Kyle in Gotham.
I did too, and then I liked who they got for the last episode as Selena Kyle, which is very much the vein of Michelle Pfeiffer's. See Bruce's house with Alfred doing the tree, Bruce just hanging out. It does, I wish Bruce was more active in Gotham. He seems very secluded, because you'd almost feel that Bruce would have been there at the Christmas lighting, as a member of the prominent Gotham City. He watches a lot of TV too, if you think about it. He watched the Joker on TV. He's watching the Penguin on TV. But what I was saying, this is where Catwoman got the blonde hair, because it's an interesting thing that Tim Burton has done in films, is take a character that's usually more of a brunette and make him a blonde. But yeah, this is where the whole blonde Selena Kyle thing started, that we saw in the animated series, and then of course they did in Gotham.
Right.
Bruce being sentimental, I hope he finds his parents. It's a weak spot. Gotham's leading citizen, Matt Treat. Shouldn't that be Bruce Wayne?
It's interesting. Well, I mean, yeah, you would assume so.
Hall of Records. On the corner. Symmetrical shot.
Michael Keaton's Bruce Wayne, he has a soft spot. Says, I hope he finds his family. But he is also still skeptical. Especially after he's aligned with Shrek, because with the meeting later on, that Bruce is connecting the dots.
Yes, I love that. Yeah, he's a personal friend. That is a huge feather on that quote.
I always love that shot when he turns to the camera and
yes. I like how he's looking for his parents, but he's also getting the names of all the firstborn of Gotham.
Mm-hmm.
I think about the firstborns, kind of like Moses and Jesus.
See, I wonder if he is looking for his parents, or if that was his
thing all along.
To come.
See, here's the news I was talking about.
He knew who they were, but he uses that as an excuse to get into the Hall of Records.
Yeah. I also gotta say,
it's both, because he comes out with his parents. It'd been neat if he had discovered his parents a long time ago and killed them.
Right.
That's what I think.
It's supposed to be called.
I gotta say too, the entrances to the Batcave, and just as the Batcave, this version of the Batcave is my favorite Batcave.
Yeah, I mean, it's the best one we've seen on film. Even better than 89. This one feels the best. They definitely. I really like the Batcave and BVS though, but this is dope too.
Yeah, well, the Batcave and BVS, he's been at it for 20 years, so he's invested a lot
It's very
in the
refined.
Batcave, yeah. And it's really cool how they have the design that everything's like hanging. Nothing's actually resting on the floor. It's all coming down.
Like bats.
And supported, yeah. So it's all like hanging from the ceiling. And he's got all that technology and everything.
This is one of my
developed
favorite shots. I just love this.
Tire tracks in the snow.
Yeah, I just love that, like the snow, the Batmobile creeping through the city. The city is like dead. He's on patrol. It does feel a little disjointed in some of the editing, like this scene. Like what? Like there's like already like there's something else. I think he knows who his parents is. After we just got the scene of I hope he finds his parents. Like right here, like him in the snow in the Batmobile, looking in at the Penguin, like and drives off. Like right, I just think it's a cool looking scene.
That's on my bucket list to drive that Batmobile.
Hell yeah!
Like find a place that has one and rent it for a day. Drive it around for a few hours. That'd be sweet. Be totally worth like $700 to do it for a day.
Yep.
Heck, I would do it for $750.
Yeah, I kind of like the idea of like they had worked it like that he actually had murdered his parents like years ago when he came back to Gotham with the circus gang and started hanging out. Like he murdered them, and then this
Tucker and Esther.
I've never paid attention to that.
I have not either. I always just see Cobblepot.
You know, another question, like the Cobblepots, they had money.
Yep.
So, I mean, they had some money. So, where'd the money go? Like after their death, or let's say he killed them, where'd the money go?
Well, maybe a trust or all to charity, having no one or another family member or something.
Because in a lot of versions, it's Oswald that ruins the money.
Yeah. I have a name. He's still not really wearing pants either. They're number one.
He said number 2.
But I forgive them.
That's the worst picture they could possibly use.
I know, right? That's Bob Kane's wife right there. He's a frog who became
Hey, at
a
least
prince.
she's not annoying like this, like she was in the other one.
Yeah,
Okay.
she plays Gossip Dirty
This
in the next
scene right
two.
here, this right here, okay? I really feel like this setup this scene right here should have followed after we saw her stand up in the hello there.
I agree.
You should have cut to it, because all this guy did was just pull that lady in, and then, like, you know, it's Catwoman's first night out kind of thing. She just put on the suit and she's patrolling and attacks this dude. Like, I just really feel like that was a little, like, weird, like, when I was a kid, like, the way she just, like, cut that dude's face. I was like...
Yeah.
But she has such a dang cool look.
I mean, it's a cool look. Like, why is she, like... See what I'm saying? Like, then she flips away, and it's like, later, they're still cleaning up from the other night, like... it just would have made more sense, I feel like, to me, if you would have just put that Catwoman scene there, and then,
It's like it all happened the same night.
Then like this scene would have followed the Penguin scene with the newspaper kind of thing, like, and I like that we actually see Bruce doing some business related stuff. We never, so it's cool just to see him part of his company,
Shame on you.
You never have too much power.
That's the theme.
Mayors come and go, but
Calls himself Muhammad Shrek.
I love that Krim boss. There's a lot of leaps in logic in this movie.
Yeah.
Like why is Bruce Wayne talking about
investigation behind the scenes?
Why is Bruce Wayne talking about? See, like this really should have been the next day. You know what I'm saying? Like these scenes should have been reordered just a little bit or something. Because it's like we got a day in between when she fell out before she shows back up at work,
So is Max's reaction really about, hey, I pushed her out of the window and I killed her? Or is it, wow, my secretary looks attractive now?
I'm thinking it's a little bit of like, I attempted murder. Does she remember? Am I going to jail? But
right.
what I was saying was like, why would Bruce Wayne be investigating the Red Triangle gang? Like, it should be one of those things where, like I really feel like there should be some, Gordon scenes of Batman. Like, this is my file on Penguin and the Red Triangle gang.
Yeah, it is a little out of order because, like, just the other days, I hope he finds his parents.
Right.
And he drives by, sees them, doing the.
He's in the
Batcave,
records, and he's like, Penguin boy in the circus gang. That's him. He's a crime boss.
It's like, oh, he's a crime boss. Yeah.
But like, look at her.
Yeah, not a whole lot of investigation.
And then look at her outfit. Like, it's now black and gray. It's in that, and the costuming, like Max with the bow tie, it's red. Bruce with the full tie.
Oh, right.
And then he has a little bit of red on his side too. They all blend together well.
Chip just standing there twiddling his thumbs.
Chip's the real villain of the movie.
Probably is. Like, I like Michael Keaton as Batman, don't get me wrong, but I'm just not head over heels. Like, he's the ultimate one and done Batman. Because, like, if you put Michael Keaton's Batman in a room with Christian Bale's going to whip him. You put Bale in the room with Affleck's going to whip him.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure Pattinson's not going to beat Affleck, so.
Right.
I always thought
I'll drop her out of a higher window.
I always thought Michael Keaton was a really great Batman. His look in the suit, like how he acts, his mannerisms. But I never bought him as Bruce.
Yeah.
Like, and a lot of times, like in Batman '89, like he acts a bit like an airhead. He's not suave. He's not like
a little bit more goofy.
Yeah, he's kind of goofy at times, especially that part of the elevator right there too. I don't know.
Six is good. 6, yeah. I like how they're just hanging out, like in this upstairs. He's just sitting at his desk by himself, this golden-looking desk, and once again wearing his onesie pajamas. with a bib.
He's in this. Yeah,
He's
he's
a
in
power
this
buddy.
dark, dank
Power.
attic, and he's got this like golden desk.
This is just like weirdly gross. Like where he like with the whole like a man or an animal, like, let me give you this raw fish like an animal. Here, follow the fishy. Come on, Oswald, to the fish.
And he thought it was a good move for this mayoral candidate walking down the stairs in his onesie, eating this fish in front of all these people.
Yeah,
And like, that's how I'm going to sell right there.
No, once again, think about the timetable.
These are his campaign people. These are the people who work for him.
And look, he's
It's
eating
their
this fish.
job, no matter what, to make him look good.
Like he's just eating this fish like gross, and they're like clapping and.
I mean, that's how I eat a fish.
And it's also, if you think about this too, it's now another day.
I mean, I like sushi. Come on.
I do too, but
That's so disgusting.
but like his clothes are different. Shrek's clothes are different, so it would mean that it's another day, or maybe he changed clothes, but doubt it. But like, look, he's springing it on him. So what I'm thinking is they just have an election, but even if they just had an election in November, like the mayor wouldn't have taken office yet. Trying to give him the cigarette. I've seen her in something else too.
Saw the girl in the alley that Michelle Pfeiffer saved in something else too.
There's his grunting like Bryan was talking about.
Yeah, there it is.
And then this doofus of a dude.
Could be worse. Oh, those teeth. Such great teeth.
Like, this is just messed up. So like I said, this is another one of those like,
My nose could be gushing blood.
Nose.
Oh, jeez.
like that is just like gross. Like his nose is so like
Much blood that sprayed like that. Like he almost bit off his nose. Like
hey, look at that green
the
screen
guy
on the
going
computer.
to the hospital. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and now he like got blood down his mouth.
He has a massive wedgie.
Nick,
Like, you have no idea where his stomach begins and his butt begins, or like it's just
yep.
it's just so disturbing. Like
My French
Tim has gone so much out of his way to make you very disturbed.
He just talked about filling her void.
and this French flipper trick.
James, didn't you create that?
Yes, that's a patented maneuver.
Maybe.
I need you, Oswald. I need you. That's the biggest parasol.
Wouldn't it have been more interesting if, like, like you couldn't do this at Christmas and the election? Like, I think you should have picked either or and just done it, like, during the election time. Like, had the movie take place at the end of October, right before election, and, like, Oswald joins at the last minute for election. Because think about this. We know Christmas is coming up. They never give us a date, but we know the movie ends like on Christmas Day.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's safe to say that, like,
This movie takes place over a week, maybe 2, maybe.
about right now, right about this time.
Yep, from now until Christmas.
He said unlimited poontang.
Yeah, let's not forget the unbelievable perv that this penguin is.
Right. That's another thing. I'm like,
So
seriously?
uncomfortable.
I'm like, seriously? Like, now here we go.
There's
Poodle and a
there's
grenade.
really not too many other Tim Burton movies that are so overtly perverted as this one is.
True.
And I think I wonder if that's not just like, I wonder if that's actually a Danny DeVito thing. Like if he brought some of that to the character.
I would say yes.
That it wasn't written in. You know what I mean?
I would say yes. Here we go. Tearing up Gotham City.
Bam. Smash their faces together.
I like that. Batman's already there. I love when he punches that dude.
I like he gets to do a little more in this than he did in the first one. You know, he actually gets to fight. He didn't do too much of that in the first one. You know, he could hardly move, so it was just like quick maneuvers. You know, that he did to take people down. In this one, he actually gets to do a little bit of moving, some blocking, some punching, some kicking, some flipping stuff around. There's a little bit of fighting, so it's not quite the step up that they do in Batman Forever when it comes to the martial arts, but it's definitely a step up from Batman 89.
This is so cool, like the battering, and then the dog gets it. It's so stupid.
I know. The dog jumps up like 1.5 feet to get it.
The dude seriously had a clock bomb.
I love how he carries around the dynamite because he's like, I'm gonna need that later.
So according to that cat clock, she's out somewhere at like 2:40 a.m. right now. Because that cat was a clock, that spinning head.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's out. She's breaking into this place at 3 in the morning.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. And this is kind
where'd
of
she
like,
get the
I
whip?
think this is their, all right. I think this is their, she's a fetishist. She's
a fetishist.
Yeah, it makes sense.
That's why she had the latex to be able to make her suit.
I mean, it makes sense. Like if they, like, I'm surprised they didn't really like look at that as like a second life, like she was a dominatrix or something.
Catwoman.
So it's probably part of why your mother didn't like this movie for you,
right?
That, I mean,
I don't want my boy to watch a woman with a whip and tight leather,
latex,
and
fetish.
These stupid idiot security guards. What night security guards have guns?
Ones that work for Shrek.
Yes.
Our take home's 300.
Now see, here's Batman outside carrying that bomb. It's an awesome shot right here, with him punching the dude and throws him off the side. He's okay. He survived. The lighting on Batman just looks so much better.
Taking time bombs, smile, and throw him down a hole.
Guys, this in 4K, the lighting, fantastic.
That dude totally lived. Batman didn't just kill that guy. No, nope,
right.
Batman. I bet it does.
He's fine. He's fine.
Gas. Just, gas. Very
so like, how long do you put bug spray in the microwave for?
She just turned it all the way up, so it starts sparks. And then look, there's Penguin. See, Penguin looks sweet. Like his outfit here, like he has pants, a suit looking thing going on, top hat, ascot.
Looks great.
Gargoyle in the wall looks cool. Batman looks awesome. The lighting looks great. The mist. You're not the mayor.
Things change.
The bat symbol is so much more colorful and prominent.
I admire that from a man in a mask.
You don't think you've been...
See, these people who say Batman doesn't kill would probably also say Batman doesn't smile. And how many times has Michael Keaton smiled already?
I like how they're just sitting on a street corner. Could you imagine someone just walking by like, oh, okay. I mean, that is a heck of an intro for her, though. Like, there's no people on the streets.
That's pretty dope how he had the trick umbrellas, though.
Yeah.
I love Penguin with trick umbrellas.
A helicopter umbrella. That's dope.
I'm surprised there's not a helicopter joke in here from the Penguin. Just saying.
That might be a little too perverted, pushing it too far.
I wonder, why does Catwoman hate Batman?
I mean, the ladder.
Why does Catwoman have a thing against Batman? You know, like, Batman saved her. It's not like he didn't save her earlier. You know what I'm saying? Like, he did save her, so why does she have such a hatred towards him?
Because before she became Catwoman, like, he saved her. Like, so it's like a thing to herself that she has to prove to herself that she doesn't need a guy to save her. That it's like a female empowerment thing, you know?
I mean, in that case, she should have killed Max already.
I think it's a little uncalled for here, unless she's thinking that because she blew up the store, he's gonna be right after her. Yeah. He's gonna try and take her down because she blew up the store.
That was a cool shot of Batman.
That's the only thing. It's like a preemptive, you know. Yeah. He's coming after me.
No, the acid on her arm is pretty hardcore. Who's the man behind the bat?
The woman behind the cat.
Because maybe she doesn't know who the woman behind the cat is.
Not anymore. She probably wasn't too familiar with her before either.
Mm-hmm.
If the suit had bat nipples, her claw would have got caught.
I like how he just backhands her.
Kitty litter.
Yuck.
When is there just a dump truck full of kitty litter on the road?
I always thought this was cool. Like, just the scene of him sitting there in the Batcave. Like,
yep.
There's a lot of blood there.
Mm-hmm. He blends in, like, him without the glove. Like, it's always interesting in scenes where you say Batman taking the suit off.
It's just such cool shots, you know. The cave really looks like a cave, you know.
And he blends into the cave.
Mm-hmm.
He's looking at the claw. Like I said, I like the look of the costume in this. Like, I like the grayishness.
It's almost an extremely dark, like almost navy blue, the way the light hits it, and it matches the walls of the cave and the lighting and everything. Bella just asked, who's that? I said, the Penguin. She said, he's ugly.
Here you go.
You're the hottest young person a role model could have.
Here, have a bun. She looks uncomfortable.
Groping people.
It's so interesting how, like, those stairs aren't that long. How it's like a transition from one world to another when he gets upstairs. And then the grunting again.
Good Lord.
And that's the most, overt line.
Yeah. Surprised Danny DeVito didn't lick her boot.
Yeah. It's just interesting the triangle gang's like in the same position, and then there's now a bed in there. Like last time it was a desk. There you go.
No, there was a bed over there earlier when it transitioned around the room.
Okay, I missed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was some really serious. Like he went straight for the lines there, and he said ointment. Scented or unscented. Jesus, I pick more stuff up the more I watch it, especially with the captions on. The bat, the cat, the pervert. I'm not penguin, I am pervert.
Turn it into an H-bomb on wheels.
It is like very interesting if you think about like you look at the stylistic choices for this, and then like I said, at the same time, even though he was mainly just producing it and providing ideas, Nightmare Before Christmas, I mean, Catwoman with the stitches, Sally with the stitches.
Ah, right. Yeah, makes sense.
This is such an interesting.
Yeah,
show.
that's kind of been an on and off thing about Penguin is how his attachment to birds.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they really used that in the animated series.
Mm-hmm.
He had trained birds to do his bidding, and
She actually did this.
yeah, she put a bird in her mouth.
Then he went for the cat.
Napalmed my arm.
See, it's for me.
It's crazy how they made her
That's
costume. You know, how they opened it up in places, and
yeah, because it's been damaged. Like if you look at her eyes, they're no longer symmetrical. Like they're not even. Like it's the one side's messed up.
well, the more her suit breaks down, the more her psyche breaks down too.
Yep. Now see, now that's just weird. Like the whole I'm giving myself a cat bath. Like that's just a little
Yeah.
too much.
Some love connection with some dignity in class.
I like how at home, like at Bruce's house, like is like very red and green. And Christmas, see Selena and Bruce at a store. Look at those sunglasses. Away from Shrek, that big green ogre.
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's funny. Shrek means something something different these days.
Batman blows it. Meow.
Cat catastrophe.
I was trying to see if I could see a date on any of those.
You definitely have to pause it and maybe zoom in.
You
With
probably
high
saved,
definition these days, you could probably see it, but
probably. You probably save millions of dollars in property damage. But see, if you look around, I mean, you can see like the set, like they're in the same spot, like that. There's the Christmas tree again. There's the bridge. There's the, what do you call it? The Gotham Girl.
yeah.
6 is good. I like that Bruce is actually genuinely interested in her.
Yeah. That's a different princess than earlier.
I was wondering that. Like, I was thinking about that this time. And I was also trying to wonder when the last time was I watched this movie. Maybe it was last year? I don't remember.
I'm not sure if I watched it this year, but I know I watched it last Christmas.
I like how it says Talent Scout. She has no idea who he is.
Rewatch the anthology every year.
I honestly could watch pretty much any of them constantly. Like, I enjoy them.
Oh, actually, yeah. I mean, you know what? We were discussing this earlier about the Nolan trilogy. I have rewatched these movies exponentially more times than I've rewatched the Nolan movies.
Well, I could pretty much always watch Batman Begins. The Dark Knight, I love watching it up until like the boat scene. But the other thing is, like, I watched The Dark Knight so many times when it first came out on home release.
Right.
Because my roommates, it was like playing in someone's room. And when I was working, and because I was working at Blockbuster, we got so many copies like a month ahead of time that we could rent them. So I had it rented out before it even went on street date. So,
right.
Like, we were playing it, and then that Christmas, everyone got a copy of it. It was like you were issued it. And, like, it just played in our house forever. And
I mean, it's a great movie. And, you know, just like any movie, even a lot of great movies, it's not without its faults. But, you know, like I said, I'll watch this anthology, like, I'll usually watch this anthology at least once a year. I do 89 Returns, Forever, and Batman and Robin.
You know, this one definitely comes towards Christmas, and then the kids are always like, they enjoy watching Forever and Batman and Robin, so they're always kind of up for those. 89's, I don't want to say it's the harder sell, just because like they like Joker, but at the same time they're like, you know,
right. But
and
then Dark Knight Rises, like I say, you can just skip to the Bane parts and shorten that movie by like 2 hours and 15 minutes.
That's our last Batman movie to review. And we'll do it next year. I've been in the mood to watch that one, especially with you.
I haven't watched it in a while.
I haven't either. I think the last time I watched it was, I think maybe the build-up for BVS when I was watching all of the Bat films. I might have watched it once after that.
Watch it. I did look to watch it somewhere a while back to find out where it was streaming and stuff, but it was only streaming like with a subscription to something an add-on to something. So I was like, okay, you know, whatever. And I just kind of let it be at that.
See, here we go. Like, I always thought that was so weird, like where he got her with the acid, how like messed up that was.
Yeah.
Like the Ice Princess. Batman's suspected involvement because the circumstance. You know, I do think it's interesting how, like, they're making out and like she feels his bruise and he felt like her arm and.
Yeah. He made the noise when she rubbed where she stabbed him, and yeah, and her blistered up arm from the napalm.
The red couch is cool. Like I said, it's very interesting how that fireplace is just awesome.
And you know what? I bet that couch is comfortable too.
I bet that couch is comfortable. I would falling asleep on Bruce Wayne's couch.
Heck yeah. Oh, everybody knows this. I don't know where my mom figured these were comfortable couches. I never once thought her couches, the couch set that she had, was comfortable.
See, that's you gotta get. That's the thing, is you have to have the secret comfortable couch that you have, and then you have the couch for like when people come over. The one is like, oh, this is cool, but like you can't sit on it for long. and you definitely can't sleep on it because then nobody wants to stay at your place.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
How many times does Bruce Wayne just leave Alfred with dealing with his women? Like, Alfred, I got to go. You take care of her.
Right.
Alfred's a great pimp. He really is.
Here we go. I always thought this was an awesome. I like it drops down and like he walks in, and then we get the chief.
This Batcave is badass, man.
The bat hangers.
Bat hangers.
I like the idea of this scene, like Catwoman getting ready in a car, while Batman's getting ready, like
all manic.
Oh, there's the Nikes. If you're paying attention.
Yeah, I always like that the boots had just this little bat signal on them.
The boots were just Nike cross trainers with like a piece that went over the top.
I just love this. I just love this bat suit in this movie. Like I like how long the ears are. It's not completely black. It's not. It's got that little silver kind of bluish tone. Mm-hmm. Like Batman just looks so great in this movie.
See, I like the idea of just seeing Batman like keeping some mystery to his suit. Like you don't see him actually kind of suiting up. Like, you see the thing drop down and his suit is in there and then he just walks in and then you kind of cut. Then he walks out as Batman. Like, I don't need to see him like completely suit up.
Don't want to see the button crotch shots from the next two Batman movies when they suit up.
No, like I like the idea that like those scenes, like when you see like the glove, and like the boot,
right?
I like elements, but yeah, the crotch. There's Doug. The crotch shot and the butt shot, like when Robin like puts the mask on, is kind of cool. Like I always like Batman up on a building.
Yeah, Batman on a gargoyle.
Yeah, it's such a smart idea.
Blowing in front of him.
It's such a smart idea having Batman on a gargoyle.
It is. Especially when you can see him.
This is ridiculous how much they're working on the Batmobile. And like the fact that they got the Batmobile plans and were able to like do this is ridiculous.
I was going to say, if they can get the schematics for the Batmobile, you'd think they'd know who Batman was.
Like, how dumb is the Ice Princess?
High fiber.
Eat floor.
She grabs it by the ears.
I like that. We do. The fact that she like freed her just to get the chair.
Yeah, there's only some Batmen that can throw out quips now and again. Not every Batman is made to do that.
I agree. Well, it's interesting because
like you would never see Bale doing like too many quips. You know what I mean? Like what was the most quip he had? So that's what that feels like. Like that's it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Except for his snarky attitude with Alfred. But that's because they've known each other his entire life.
She let me go. So why don't you just get down?
I know, right?
Listen, she's an idiot. The bats fly out of the penguins. Okay, Batman's just standing there. She falls. Okay.
Well, I mean, she wasn't really contributing a lot to society. So, like, Batman feels, hey, we deserve a better princess.
She lights the tree in dark comedy and bats fly out. But, like, really, Batman would have dove off there, used his grapple gun. Police got up there awfully quick with Commissioner Gordon. At least Commissioner Gordon's just thinking, hold your fire. Like the first, okay, in Batman 89, like he, his thing was very much, I don't talk much as Batman. And in this, he talks more as Batman. Because he kind of interacts more with people as Batman.
The original script for this, they wanted him to talk even more. And Keane said to the screenwriter, like, Batman would never say that. No, I should be talk less. Nope. Yep. So, like, they want Batman to go on these like long rants.
Yeah.
And, especially about, that kiss right there.
I don't think you can do this type of psychological Batman film with these villains and this potential love interest with Catwoman here.
Yeah.
And not have a little more dialogue than you potentially could, or like he had in 89.
Oh yeah, like with Catwoman, you have to have conversation. He can be the whisper kind of quick lines to Penguin, but to Catwoman, he has to be able to. He has to talk. This is sweet. I always thought this was awesome. Like he's on the edge, and then like his cape changes to like a glider, and he just like it's a hard glide.
Badass shots, man.
He flies past the Christmas tree. This is kind of, I mean, it's sweet right there. Like that is an awesome shot of like his head, like kind of coming into frame. And I'm like, if this gang can like break into the Batmobile, they are definitely smarter and should be doing more high-tech crimes.
Yep.
We are graced by the presence of pure beauty. My friend Jania has walked into the cave.
Jen walked in right when Catwoman licked Batman, and she just shook her head and laughed. Because women don't do that.
Twitching your little tail.
I kind of find it interesting that like Catwoman's helping him, but at the same time she's like doing her own thing. I always like that about Catwoman. I always like when she's an antagonist, but she's on her own side. She's out for her. She's not really teamed up with anybody.
Because that's who Catwoman is, man. It's
exactly
all about her.
This is so cool. Like, it just looks good. But there's a lot of great shots. Like I said, visually, there's a lot of great stuff in this movie. Like the colors, the sets. Here we go. Like James was saying, like her costume's more tore. And like she looks more beat up and haggardy with each. I like that roll. His cape goes back to being a normal cape and not the glider. Oswald's trailer. Oswald means order.
50-cent battle ride.
Yeah, this was a little too much. This was a little like on the cheap campy side. It's like dark campy for something that's trying to still break away from being paired with Batman 66. Like, this is what they give us? Start your screaming, guys.
I played this stinking city like a harp from hell.
You sounded like Burgess Meredith doing that instead of Danny DeVito.
So, which makes me ask. So it makes me ask, who do you guys like better, Danny DeVito or Burgess Meredith?
Burgess Meredith.
I mean, I would probably have to go with Burgess Meredith as well.
I mean, I agree.
I liked Robin Lloyd Taylor.
I did too.
When he started out. But then he just got a little bit ridiculous.
Yeah.
As the whole show did. But
yeah.
he started off good.
I agree. Like,
Yeah, we didn't even ask about him. We didn't throw him in. Yeah, he was really good in that show.
I think he was really good. I mean, sometimes in a show, the hard part is you get to that point where the writers just take the characters and they're just, yeah, nobody's dying right here, even though it's unintentional and Batman's not in control. The Batmobile is not killing people. Every car is empty. Everybody got free.
I think that I think Matt Reeves will probably get Penguin right.
I think so too.
I think Colin Farrell. I mean, Colin Farrell is a great actor.
Yes, he is.
I mean, Matt Reeves already has Colin looking nothing like Colin. You know, I have a love for the Penguin. I love the Penguin very much. I think he's a great villain. I think he's underrated. And I think that he's rarely used properly. I think a lot of times people just don't know how to write
him.
Like, do you write him as mob boss? Do you write him as this deformed guy? Like, and the main thing about the Penguin is just he's extremely insecure. Extremely. Like, by how he looks, and you know, he doesn't want to feel like a failure. Eventually it'll be done right, and he probably will be done right by Matt Reeves.
Yes. You know, I like the idea that he's not deformed, but like, you know, he's misproportionate, he's overweight, he's not what an aristocrat should be. He is. I always like the idea that Penguin was kind of a, like, it's a nickname, it's like an underground name, that he. Now I like him talking to himself. I remember this, the Bat Missile, like, this is just kind of like making the Bat Pod type scene where you're just like, wow.
Right.
And then the police trying to go there too. Like,
I remember this movie having just so many great toys. Like, I remember begging my mom, like, give me that Catwoman toy. Give me that. Give me the Batman Returns Batcave. I wanted that more than anything in the world. Or the Batmobile, and I never got any of it. but
the only Returns toy I got was the Robin, because I just remember we were at the store and we could get my brother and I could get a couple of toys because we had just moved, and I picked up an animated series Batman. And I wanted a Robin, but they didn't have an animated series Robin, but they had the Batman Returns Robin. So I got that Batman Returns Robin and the animated series Batman. And I still have both of them.
You mean Batman Forever?
No.
You know, I still have an animated series Two-Face and an animated series Batman action figure upstairs.
Yeah, there's a Batman Returns Robin figure, because Robin was supposed to be in this, played by Marlon Wayans.
Right.
No, I thought Marlon Wayans was supposed to be Robin in Forever.
No, it was this movie. I'm sending you a picture, Brian, of the toy.
He even actually got paid.
Yeah, he still gets paid for this because of his contract, because they cut him out of the script. There's our first like Vicky Vale reference from the other film. Because the toy was like modeled after Marlon Wayans, but then they changed it because they cut him out of the film completely. And then that's why, you know, Marlon thought he was going to be Robin in the next one, just like just like Billy Dee thought he was going to be in the next one. But then when Schumacher came in and wanted his changes and did what he did, nope.
Oh, I see it. Yeah, man, dude, that's straight up Tim Drake, bro.
I have, like I said, I have the figure.
It looks just like animated series Dick Grayson.
I can't get to where it's at because I'm on the couch doing this, but I still have this in the box.
I found it.
Hanging
They come
on
with the grappling hook?
Yep.
Wow, that's awesome.
I sent you the picture of it in the chat, but like next time you're over, Brian, I'll show you. It's on the wall.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. I mean, that is straight up that's straight up Tim Drake. I mean,
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Or at that time where Tim Drake came out, everyone loved Tim, and then they were like, "Well, we're going to put Robin. We'll just model him after this Robin, but we'll call him Dick Grayson."
I did not know that tidbit.
But yeah, it was weird. Like I had this Robin, and I had Batman from the animated series, and this is when we learned that you can scratch a CD, because that was the whole point of CDs is they don't skip, scratch.
Oh, they certainly skip.
Man,
I like how people are standing there like, I didn't see it. I love this right here. Shrek starts like backing up. That was just trying to be hip.
Yeah.
Bruce and Alfred, best pals.
DJ Wayne.
There's Selena just looking all off in the distance by the Christmas tree on the set of
Everybody
Coffin.
just walked away from him. Like, oh, well.
And I like the shrug that Max gives him. We tried.
Well, you're on your own.
I like how
Love
people
this
have
line.
produce.
Why, buddy? Yeah. Like this line when he gets behind the umbrella. Why is there always someone who brings eggs and tomatoes to a speech?
Like, I love that it's a machine gun umbrella.
never in my life have I ever seen someone throw a tomato at somebody talking.
I know. I'm now like, I want to do it. Like now I just feel like I need to sometime.
See, that's what we should do for presidential speeches. You don't like what if you don't like what the president is saying, throw tomatoes and eggs at him.
Okay, first of all, there's no need for the police to be shooting him. He is yet to
He opened fire into an open crowd.
Okay, I take that back. I'm an
into
idiot.
a crowd.
I'm an idiot.
He's so morbidly obese. You tell me that not one of those cops could catch up to him?
I'm an idiot.
Like, seriously.
Or hit him either. With
I
a bullet.
was still thinking. I was so caught up on the vegetables in the speech. I was like, wait a minute. Yeah. They should have all had their guns shooting. And like you said, he was a large chunk of monk running.
He is a robust man. It's a big target.
Now he's on a rubber duck.
Hey guys, you think that Jen would ever let me buy a rubber ducky boat?
Maybe. My name is not Oswald. It's Penguin.
If
So let me get back to my
take me
diaper.
for a ride, or let me drive it.
I just know I'm gonna walk outside my house one day drinking coffee, and I'm gonna see Bryan driving past my house on a rubber duck, and behind him will be James in the Batmobile, and I'll just be like, it's a good morning, and there they go.
It's just a normal day.
Right?
Yeah, I'm led to believe that he went to the record office to get that info.
Yeah, that's what he was doing.
He already killed his parents and all that.
He was in there pretending. I mean, they never really state it, but he was getting all those names of the firstborns.
Killing sleeping children? Isn't that a little
overrated?
Bam.
That's kind of the characters speaking for us. It's messed up.
Right.
Kills him, pushes him into the water. He just floats. That's a sweet shot of the Batcave.
And I love how there's all these just little
so
cliffs,
like matte painting,
little ledges.
It looks so good.
Not interested in, although
It's pretty dope though. He's working on the Batmobile.
yep.
He's repairing the Batmobile himself.
Not Alfred. You mean that it's actually Batman working on it, not Alfred?
I think that they would. I think that over the years that they would both have to just work on it to keep up on the gadgets and the repairs and things.
I do like the imagery of this scene of like everyone's wearing a mask and Bruce is actually wearing his mask.
Yeah.
What
would be really cool though is if he wore something like, not everybody's wearing something over their eyes and the top of their head. If he just wore like a mask over his mouth.
Yes. Just like the opposite of the Batman.
Opposite of Batman.
But it is like an interesting thing. Like he's wearing his mask right now. Because Batman is really who he is. And then Selina is doing the same thing. Like she's not wearing a mask because she's wearing her facade. Sorry about yesterday. There's a little bit of a times table.
I go home and feed my cat because, I wouldn't have fed my cat before I went out to dinner with a billionaire.
Yeah. So Oswald must have been earlier that day that, he quit doing his mayoral things.
Yeah.
I love how in The Dark Knight Rises that they kind of do this scene again. And Catwoman in Dark Knight Rises is all like, hey, you're broke. They took your money. Have a nice day.
And he's like, all right. Oh. I like how quickly he answered without pausing or playing game. He's like, to see you. But I do like what you're saying. Like her psychosis is getting even more unraveled. Like here.
Mm-hmm. And she takes a gun out in the middle of an open room. Just people at the party dancing.
I mean,
she looks really, just the way she's cracking,
Yeah. Like, she doesn't even say, like, he pushed me out a window. Like, he pushed me out a fucking window.
Right.
Bruce is like, I'll just kiss you. That'll get you to stop. This whole mistletoe thing is just kind of weird. I feel like it's very a forced line. Like in a writer, like, oh, this will be clever.
Yep.
Like, it's supposed to, like, be a big, like, I know who you are, you know who I am. Like, because I like her line. Does that mean we have to fight now? Like, but, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I just feel like it's just such a weird, like, mistletoe can be deadly if you eat it. Why would you eat it? Like, just because it's a plant? I love that. I love they just walk away from that area and it blows up.
Oh. Yeah.
The dude in the
explosion, man. Sent people up onto the second floor, sent people all the way into the walls and the trees and stuff.
Into the Christmas tree. That's the one that got me. And then here comes the penguin rises.
The fire rises.
Chip, died goal, save itself.
Crashed your party in my dirty onesie.
I do love that he's back to the onesie. It's important. And the spitting black whatever. Poo gas.
His spit is that gross. Like, his breath has got to be something fierce.
What do you want? What, Mr. Mayor? The mayor stabbed in the back.
Yeah, great white dope. He's got a spread shot in that freaking umbrella.
I mean, I do like the one thing that Max does care about is Chip.
Yeah.
Like, that is like the one thing about him that you can tell is truthful. Is like, he does care for his son.
I don't think he really cares for his son. I think it's more about a legacy thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can argue that point because he says, like, this is my legacy. This is for Chip.
Yeah, without his son, he has no legacy.
Yep.
So,
With Chip gone, no legacy.
but like, is Chip his legacy, or like he said, his business, his power plant was his legacy? Was it for Chip or just for his name? So it kind of makes you kind of wonder. I'm kind of bummed that Chip didn't show up in Batman, Forever. I like the giant cage.
I don't think the cage is big enough, honestly. I love that umbrella.
Pied penguin. That's so creepy.
Of your industrial byproducts. See? In a pool of your industrial byproducts.
Now, this train thingy, is this the most
Seems highly practical.
Yeah, like it seems very impractical and like doesn't look like it could, cage that many children. And it seems like if you hadn't already kidnapped the kids, like telling their parents. I love
And
that.
also,
the lightning.
You notice how many firstborn sons are on that whole entire street?
Yeah, and they're all babies.
All these women got pregnant at the same time. They're all babies.
It's firstborn, but they're all different. They're all different ages. They just have to be firstborn sons. It's not. That's why he wanted Chip. He's firstborn son, but he's 20-something years old.
The mailman was busy.
So
the mailman was busy. Batman, and this was gross right here.
Yes.
Zooming in on his nasty ass mouth.
And this is just such a weird transitional scene. Like,
gives such a freaking war speech to penguins.
Yeah, I'll say this is like it's a Patton parody if you think about it. Instead of just like having that zoom in and then you just see the penguins going out, like they give us this scene.
The sexes are equal with their erogenous zones blown sky high. That's ridiculous.
He just looks weird, like the way he moves and everything with the padding and
right. Just looks like some amorphous blob.
Yes.
It's like they took a mattress, like a foam mattress topper, and just wrapped him in it.
Yes.
And then put him in a onesie.
Right.
I agree. This is cool. I'm just like, this thing looks so sweet. And it's like, the sewer's big enough for this thing?
Those are some huge sewers in Gotham. I
They have a lot of.
I like watching the special features where they show the small tube, the small miniature of the sewer with the boat that they have driving through it and stuff.
One of the first episodes I listened to Holy Batcast like 5 years ago was an interview with the guy who made the model and helped make that scene. It was one of their earlier episodes.
Oh, sweet.
And I know that some of like are real penguins and some are people in suits.
Right. Yeah. When I caught on to Holy Batcast, I mean, I've been listening to him for like 4.5 years now, but I didn't catch him at the very beginning. So like I went back and listened to like some movie episodes, but I don't think I've listened to every single episode they've ever done. But I've listened to, like I said, like every episode for like the last 4.5 years. So it's most of them.
I started that as one of the podcasts I found when I moved back in 2014, right before Solomon was born. 100,000 people. Trex is just like, does she really have to narrate everything? And notice how there's no people ever in Gotham. Like everyone's afraid to be out. That is a lot of penguins in one spot. I'm surprised he's not eating popcorn.
Yeah, he's eating sardines. He's eating anchovies.
A bird eating birds. Frequency jammed. Something is wrong. Alfred.
Alfred's still doing his thing though. He's helping from the terminal back in the Batcave.
Man in the chair.
Yep.
So it's tiny.
So, do you think that there's like a bathroom in that sewer, or do you think like he just kind of gets out of the onesie and just?
Well, I mean, he's technically not in the sewer. He's in the old abandoned like zoo aquarium that feeds into the sewer. It connects to the sewer. So.
Oh, I'm just telling you, he unbuttons that onesie and he just pees right in that water. He doesn't even care about that.
I don't even think he unbuttons the onesie. I think it's just skin grafted by this point. Like, I mean, like, why is he still wearing it? Like I said, he's wearing like that dicky thing looking around his neck.
I don't know.
It's just weird.
He really does.
I do like this shot of like the clown is like walking out, the other clowns, moving around. She just fades into the back. He's just angry now to his duck.
It's time to duck stuff up.
And then he like drives on land upstairs.
So my thing messed up, so I'm back a little bit. Like he just jumped in the duck to drive off.
All right, he's in the snow on the duck. He should be freezing to death. And Batman just launched
jumped
onto the duck.
Zoo.
He took out the duck's head.
So I just got Batman going up the ramp.
Batman is exiting the Batboat.
Now he's hitting the duck.
You're a few seconds behind us, which sucks.
Yeah.
just jumped on him.
It's all good. I've seen this movie 100 times.
Yeah. See, I always like the idea, like, the Penguin is not a physical match at all. Who's holding the umbrella? Batman has this giant thing on his belt.
And so in the comics, I mean, not this version, but in the comics, Penguin has evolved into a decent fighter, even though he doesn't like to get his hands dirty. He's a decent fighter, and he is very strong for his compact size.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's about it. And he's good with weapons, obviously.
Well, I always felt that Penguin should be wrote a little bit like Kingpin. Not completely, just a little bit.
I can see that.
Yeah, that's more of how he. Yeah, that's more of how more a common portrayal is, at least recently.
No, he's all right.
Yeah, he's fallen. I like how we saw the bats. There's some sweet shots of Batman.
Talk about poetic justice. Bats go after him, and he falls through the window down into his water.
Oh, you've been paying attention, James.
Yep. He brought it up earlier. He called it poetic justice.
Yep.
I love this.
He did to the princess, happened to him.
I love when Shrek goes to step out, she whips his leg and pulls him into the water. And then there's the dead clown. And Shrek gets his gun.
That was a cool shot of Batman.
It is a cool shot of Batman. Stuff just blowing up everywhere. Her costume's tore up. Her hair everywhere. A very big ball of string. The Bat Grappler. A die for a die.
It's funny.
Here comes Batman on a zip line.
Half pint, I'm talking.
He comes down the zip line, but he doesn't unhook himself from the zip line.
I wish he would have just punched him instead of pushed his face. They should have just let Penguin have like the Disney death.
What, fall into a void?
Just fall. Yeah. And like leave it kind of open where you're like, oh. But they always have to kill.
Like it seems Harley does in the Batman Beyond: Return of the Joker.
They always have to kill one villain. We're the same.
Well, we know they had a.
Watch the eyes, guys. Watch the eyes. Watch the eyes. Watch the eyes.
Yeah, I love how he rips a mask and there's no black around the eyes.
Yep, there's a quick shot where it
yeah, there it is.
Flips.
Yep, they take the black away right there.
And then he takes it off. And I hate that he has to like.
That's kind of the cool thing about Reeves Batman is it's just going to be there. Like it's not a visual thing that's not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that it's not there then. But yeah, it's pretty cool how they're doing that, and it's crazy that it took this long for that to be the case.
I figured we would have saw like in the scene where Affleck takes off his mask, we would have got something, but
yeah, like when he comes up the stairs, of the Batmobile and he takes off his I would have thought so too, just because of how that
crazy hair
version is. But yeah, it's
I love that line. Why are you dressed like Batman? It's like because you his Batman.
You're fired.
See, like the whole lives thing is interesting. But like, it doesn't look like he aims correctly at her. Like he's just. That was a good like hit on her.
She looks great. Like, she looks completely sane. Definitely a girl you take home to mom.
She completely lost her job.
Oh, she actually has nine
I like
lives.
that. I'll save one for next first.
It's like Barney says, the crazy ones are always fun.
Like this is straight up like twisted. Like that is a Tim Burton death right there. Like
Yeah, she has the 9 lives of a cat. She's kind of got like the way they give her in this one, she's kind of made Catwoman through mystic or supernatural type power.
it's all illusion. Like they could have just like nope, but then we got like Predator Penguin here popping up. That's a bad edit. Black blood going from his nose and mouth. He's like, do we really need this scene?
Nope. No, we don't.
It's like it's actually green. Just
Bruce is looking for Selena. Find
He's
Shrek.
okay.
Like, Tim Burton likes to burn people. Think about
He does.
in '89, the guy who gets the hand buzzer.
Mm-hmm.
Batman turns and looks at Penguin.
Oh shit! I picked a cute one.
yeah.
That's a great line.
I love that one. It makes me laugh every time.
See, like
Oh, I picked the cute one.
the green black stuff makes more sense now than it did earlier. He just looks so weird dead. Sorry. Like, because if you were gonna do like that water being polluted, like Max should have been like corroding when he came out. Now these are people in suits as these penguins.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
They look sweet, but like, it's such a like, it's like dark humor here of like the penguins giving him a funeral. Like,
The penguin?
No, those are people in suits.
But they're so real.
She said they look so real.
they do. They look great. So how was work today, honey? It was great. What'd you do? I wore a penguin
these
costume
tigers.
and walked around and pushed a fat man into water. Like, do we need this shot?
Oh my god, he's gonna
Sinking into the water with the stuff coming out of his mouth.
Then here's Alfred driving. Bruce in the back.
That's what he
Driving through the city.
deserves.
That is what he deserves, honey. He's trying to kill kids.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to me. I'm like, a boy, try me.
I want it to snow really good. I want a good snow. I think it's supposed to snow tomorrow.
Wait, it needs to wait until. Okay, tomorrow I guess is okay, but it needs to wait until after Christmas because I'm on call next week.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I am trying to be doing snow, especially on Christmas.
Yeah, tomorrow there's a 90% chance of snow, and Thursday a 40% chance of snow.
Jonesy, I hope
We're about to get an inch, but like east of the Appalachian Mountains, they're about to get 1 foot to 2 foot.
Woo.
Yeah, my mom said that she's supposed to get like 2 feet of snow tomorrow.
Yeah, they better hunker down over there.
Well,
Yep. That's one thing. I mean, I do miss it a little bit. I do miss real snow.
you know, I miss.
But
So here in Toledo, we are near Lake Erie. So we kind of are in a valley area. So a lot of the times, because of the lake and stuff, a lot of times things veer around us. They go north of us or they go south of us. So sometimes we luck out on missing snow and rain and stuff.
Here we go.
Mhm.
Merry Christmas,
Yeah, that's-
Mr. Wayne.
that's what would happen to my friend Mike, who he grew up in Erie. Like sometimes Erie wouldn't get hit much, but like just an hour
Real
south of
Twin Men.
it, just boom, like 3 feet,
And
4 feet.
The lonely car driving through Gotham, the most ghost town of them all.
I just love this ending shot, man.
The pickup shot, the like super expensive pickup shot,
Yeah.
which makes me wonder like what all did they reshoot? What all did they add? Because I figured they like it ended like that, and then her standing up
Yeah.
like.
Rolls Royce.
And that wasn't even. I'm pretty sure that wasn't even Michelle Pfeiffer. And that was Batman Returns.
green screen or jawed.
We have completed the Batman anthology in like the weirdest order.
Beautiful.
Right.
And not that bad. I guess we went 1, 3, 4, 2. So, but all right, everybody. Merry Christmas. Have a safe and happy holiday, and enjoy time with your family.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animals. And a Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.